Good evening. Fined for breaking the rules he set. Prime Minister Boris Johnson, along with his wife Carrie Johnson and the Chancellor Rishi Sunak, are all in the spotlight. They're among at least 30 fixed penalty fines being issued by police for attending a Downing Street party during lockdown. Tonight the Prime Minister has apologised, as has the Chancellor, but that's not stopping resignation calls.
I understand the anger that many will feel that I myself fell short when it came to observing the very rules which the government I lead had introduced to protect the public. And I accept in all sincerity that people had the right to expect better.
I think of all those people who obeyed the rules, did the right thing, and it's a real slap in the face for them. They made heart-wrenching decisions, and they feel incredible guilt for relatives they didn't see, funerals they didn't go to, weddings they didn't go to, even the birth of their own children.
The Prime Minister should come to the House, make a resignation statement. That should be followed by the Chancellor Rishi Sunak doing the same. And then let's have the full Sue Gray report, unredacted, so of the full horrors of what this regime's been up to.
A $5 million award has been put forward by the American authorities for information leading to the arrest and conviction of an Irish crime gang. It's headed by Daniel Kinahan, who's been the advisor to Scottish world champion boxer Josh Taylor. The US Treasury says the group also includes the boss of a Glasgow-based drinks company, who's said to be involved in money laundering and international drugs shipments. Vanessa Kennedy has the story.
At a packed press conference in Dublin this morning, the determination to bring the gang to justice was spelled out.
And so today, the United States Department of State is pleased to announce a reward of up to $5 million for information leading to the financial disruption of the KTCO or the arrest and convictions of its leaders.
United States officials are looking for 7 members of the gang headed by Daniel Kinahan. One of his associates, John Francis Morrissey, is behind the Glasgow-registered vodka company Nero Drinks. A promotional video describes its product as a premium drink which is clever and contemporary, but the US Treasury says Morrissey has links to drugs trafficking and laundering money. There was no sign of anyone with involvement in the firm at any of the addresses connected to the company in Glasgow today.
Every year, millions of lives are affected by transnational organizations, including through drugs, violence, firearm deaths, and human trafficking and smuggling.
Daniel Kinahan is also heavily involved in boxing. He's been an advisor to Scotland's world light welterweight champion Josh Taylor, seen here in Edinburgh last week. The boxer's PR representative declined to comment today. In a now deleted tweet posted last year, Taylor said Kinahan was a great advisor and he'd had nothing but great experience with him. That relationship is surely now over, with Kinahan firmly in the sights of law enforcement.
You can run, but you can't hide from justice forever.
Vanessa Kennedy, STV News.
An asylum seeker who stabbed 6 people in a Glasgow hotel had contacted the Home Office and other organisations for help more than 70 times before the attack. Badreddin Abadla Adam was among hundreds of asylum seekers moved into city hotels at the start of lockdown. Polly Bartlett reports.
Even at times, when I'm in the kitchen, something drops, my mind will move directly to back an incident.
Mo was stabbed 5 times just meters from his room during the attack in June 2020.
Since that moment I received the first 2 stabbings, I can't recall clearly what happened on that day, but the scars are there forever.
Badreddin Abadla Adam stabbed 6 people in the attack, including 2 members of hotel staff and a police officer, before being shot dead. A report shows that Adam contacted the Home Office and other organisations 72 times before the attack, raising concerns about his health and accommodation. Siraj spoke to the Home Office as part of the review, telling them there were warning signs.
Before the stabbing incident, there was some fighting inside, and fight, it's not okay to be allowed. And I have mentioned all that, I have reported all that, but nothing was important for them to look at.
The Home Office said today the use of hotels is unacceptable and we are working hard to find appropriate accommodation for asylum seekers. Since this horrific incident, we have undertaken a number of significant changes to keep asylum seekers safe. Charities say hundreds of people are still living in hotels like Park Inn across Scotland.
A majority of them are people who have pre-existing mental health and physical health conditions. They're survivors of torture, survivors of organised violence. At the beginning, there were pregnant women in those hotels.
Refugees like Mo and Siraj are still coming to terms with what happened 2 years ago. The report yet again raises questions about their treatment and whether this attack could have been prevented. Polly Bartlett, STV News, Glasgow.
The unemployment rate has fallen slightly. It was 3.5% between December and February. That's down 0.1% on the previous quarter. The average monthly pay has also increased by almost 10% since the start of the pandemic. Now, the owners of St Enoch Centre say any development of the site will be done with minimal disruption. A planning application has been submitted to transform the area, getting rid of the indoor mall, replacing it with a street of shops and leisure facilities over the next 20 years. Now to football. And Scotland have lost 2-0 to Spain in a World Cup qualifier at Hampden. Pedro Martinez Losa's side sits second in the table behind their opponents tonight, who are unbeaten. That's your late news. Now Sean has the weather.
A light drizzle is coming in from the west. TUI Blue Hotels sponsor STV Weather.
A very good evening to you. Well, things will be warming up quite a bit in the next couple of days. We could be looking at temperatures peaking out Central Belt, maybe 17, 18 degrees by the time we get to Good Friday, tailing off a wee bit as we head into Easter weekend, mind you. Temperatures tonight staying about 7 to 8 degrees Celsius. We hang on to cloud, outbreaks of rain for many of us, and turning very misty and murky around coastal areas and also across the hills. Now, tomorrow morning we've still got that weather front over the top of us, but most of the rain will be getting squeezed out, so not too much rain left with it, but still a rather damp start. Many central and eastern parts cloudy and misty as well. Best of the brightness across the Hebrides. We could see a wee bit of a sea fog developing western and southern parts of Kintyre, also southern parts of Isle as well. But brightening up generally for many of us through the afternoon. Top temperatures Falkirk, Stirling in the brighter skies later on, peaking at about 15 degrees. So not feeling too bad in the sunshine. Monday, Thursday, also Good Friday. A fair amount of dry and bright weather and temperatures rising slightly. Night night.
TUI Blue Hotels sponsor STV Weather.
Scotland Tonight is next with all the latest on Partygate. Have a lovely evening. Goodbye.